1. The Bloop. In the vast unexplored depths of the world's oceans, a perplexing sound was detected that continues to intrigue scientists and mystery enthusiasts alike. This enigmatic acoustic phenomenon, known as the Bloop, has sparked numerous theories and debates since its discovery in 1997. During the summer of that year, an array of hydrophones, underwater microphones used by the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, picked up an ultra-low frequency sound in the South Pacific Ocean. This sound was unlike anything the scientific community had encountered before. It was detected by sensors up to 3,000 miles apart, indicating that it was incredibly loud and far-reaching. The audio profile of the Bloop was so unusual that it quickly caught the attention of NOAA scientists. The Bloop wasn't a brief, isolated incident. It was recorded multiple times over the course of summer 1997. Each occurrence lasted for about 1 minute and was detectable across a wide swath of the Pacific Ocean. What made the Bloop particularly intriguing was its audio signature. When sped up to be audible to human ears, it sounded remarkably organic, almost like a living creature. This characteristic led to wild speculation about its origin. The sound's frequency was just above the lower limit of human hearing, around 20 Hz. To put this into perspective, it was several times louder than the loudest known biological sound, that of a blue whale. The organic nature of the sound led to numerous theories about its possible sources. Some speculated that the Bloop could be the vocalization of an undiscovered sea creature, perhaps a giant squid, or an unknown species of whale. Others proposed that the sound could be the result of large icebergs cracking and breaking apart. Underwater volcanic activity and seismic events on the ocean floor were also considered as potential sources. More fanciful theories even suggested an extraterrestrial origin, tying the Bloop to the fictional sunken city of Relaxation from H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. NOAA scientists, intrigued by the mystery, set out to investigate the source of the Bloop. They triangulated the sound's origin to a remote point in the South Pacific Ocean, west of the southern tip of South America. This location, interestingly, was relatively near to the position of Relaxation in Lovecraft's stories, which only fueled more imaginative speculations. However, the scientists remained focused on finding a natural explanation. Several factors made the investigation of the Bloop challenging. The area where the Bloop originated is extremely deep, making direct exploration difficult. The location is far from land and shipping lanes, complicating the logistics of any expedition. Moreover, after the summer of 1997, the Bloop was not heard again with the same intensity or frequency, making ongoing study problematic. After years of study and the collection of more data, NOAA scientists have come to a conclusion that might disappoint fans of sea monsters and alien civilizations. They now believe that the Bloop was most likely the sound of a large icequake. Icequakes occur when large icebergs crack and break apart. As ice melts and breaks up, particularly in polar regions, it can create a variety of loud, low-frequency sounds that can travel long distances through the water. This explanation is supported by several factors. Other recordings of icequakes share characteristics with the Bloop. The triangulated origin of the Bloop is not far from regions known for iceberg activity. Additionally, increased ice melt due to global warming could explain why such a loud event was captured in 1997. Despite this explanation, some aspects of the Bloop remain puzzling. Why hasn't a sound of similar magnitude been recorded since 1997? The regular occurrence of the Bloop over a summer seems unusual for an icequake. Some argue that the organic quality of the sound is still not fully explained by the icequake theory. While the Bloop may have a natural explanation, its impact on popular culture and scientific inquiry has been significant. It highlighted how little we know about the deep oceans and spurred interest in further exploration. The incident demonstrated the value of long-term acoustic monitoring of the oceans. The Bloop has been featured in numerous documentaries, articles, and works of fiction, cementing its place in the pantheon of modern mysteries. The Bloop serves as a reminder of how much we have yet to learn about our planet, particularly its oceans. It demonstrates that even in the age of advanced technology, nature can still surprise us with phenomena that challenge our understanding. While the current explanation of an icequake may seem less exciting than a giant sea monster or alien base, it underscores the complex and dynamic nature of our planet's geophysical processes. 2. The Voynich Manuscript. For centuries, the Voynich Manuscript has captivated the imaginations of scholars, linguists, and cryptographers alike. This enigmatic document, which dates back to the early 15th century, remains one of the most puzzling mysteries in the world of historical artifacts. What secrets does this strange and perplexing text hold? Discovered in 1912 by antiquarian Wilfrid Voynich, the manuscript is a handwritten document composed of over 200 pages of vellum. Written in an unknown language or cipher, the text is accompanied by hundreds of illustrations depicting a wide range of subjects, from strange botanical specimens and astronomical diagrams to enigmatic sigils and human figures bathing in pools. Despite numerous attempts by experts to decipher the text, the Voynich manuscript has stubbornly resisted translation. The language used appears to be completely unique, with no clear relationship to any known written tongue. This has led to endless speculation about the manuscript's origins and purpose. Some theorize it may be the work of an unknown civilization, while others believe it could be an elaborate hoax or the product of an elaborate coded system. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Voynich manuscript is the sheer variety of topics it covers. The botanical drawings, for instance, depict hundreds of plants that do not correspond to any known species, real or imagined. These illustrations have been the subject of intense scrutiny, with botanists and historians attempting to make sense of their strange and alien forms. Some researchers have suggested that the plants may be representations of fictional or mythological flora, while others believe they could be depictions of rare or undiscovered plant life. Similarly, the astronomical diagrams found within the manuscript have piqued the interest of scholars. Some pages appear to show strange celestial bodies or planetary alignments that do not match any recognized constellations or astronomical phenomena. This has fueled theories that the manuscript may contain insights into lost or forgotten cosmological knowledge, perhaps even hinting at the existence of a sophisticated understanding of the heavens that predates modern astronomy. Beyond the botanical and astronomical elements, the Voynich manuscript is also home to puzzling diagrams of human figures, as well as what appear to be astrological charts or alchemical symbols. These aspects of the text have led some to speculate that the manuscript may have been associated with arcane practices or occult traditions. Perhaps it was used as a reference guide for rituals, divination, or the pursuit of esoteric knowledge. Countless hours have been spent analyzing the Voynich manuscript, but its true nature and purpose remain elusive. Theories about its origins range from the fantastical, such as the idea that it was written by or for aliens, to the more grounded, such as the possibility that it was created as an elaborate hoax or as a form of coded communication. One theory that has gained some traction is the notion that the Voynich manuscript may have been created as a kind of proto-encyclopedia, a compendium of information compiled by a Renaissance-era scholar or group of scholars. This hypothesis suggests that the manuscript's diverse subject matter, from botany to astronomy to human anatomy, may reflect an attempt to catalogue and preserve knowledge from a variety of disciplines. However, the sheer complexity and uniqueness of the Voynich manuscript have led many to dismiss the idea that it was simply a reference work. The level of detail and the apparent interconnectedness of its various sections have led some researchers to believe that the manuscript may have served a more specialized or esoteric purpose, perhaps even as a tool for divination or alchemical experimentation. Despite the countless hours spent analyzing the Voynich manuscript, its true nature and purpose remain elusive. One thing that is certain, however, is the enduring fascination that this enigmatic document holds for researchers and the general public alike. Its mysterious origins and the tantalizing clues it offers have made it the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and even works of fiction. The quest to unravel the secrets of the Voynich manuscript continues, as new technologies and analytical techniques are constantly being applied in the hope of cracking its code. Whether the text will ever be translated remains an open question, but the allure of this centuries-old mystery shows no signs of fading. The Voynich Manuscript stands as a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity and the desire to uncover the hidden truths of our world. As we delve deeper into the enigma of the Voynich Manuscript, we are reminded of the countless mysteries that still lie waiting to be discovered, both in the physical world and in the realms of human knowledge and imagination. 3. The Disappearance of Amelia Earhart. In the annals of aviation history, few mysteries have captivated the public imagination quite like the disappearance of Amelia Earhart. This pioneering aviator, who broke numerous records and shattered gender barriers in the early days of flight, vanished without a trace during her attempt to circumnavigate the globe in 1937. Her disappearance has spawned countless theories, expeditions, and debates that continue to this day, more than 8 decades later. Amelia Earhart was born in Atchison, Kansas in 1897. From an early age, she displayed a spirit of adventure and a penchant for challenging societal norms. Earhart's fascination with aviation began after attending a flying exhibition during World War I. She took her first flying lesson in 1921 and quickly fell in love with the freedom and exhilaration of flight. Within a year, she had purchased her first plane and set her sights on making history. Earhart's list of accomplishments in aviation is remarkable. In 1922, she set a world altitude record for female pilots. In 1928, she became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger. But it was in 1932 that Earhart truly cemented her place in history, becoming the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. This feat earned her the Distinguished Flying Cross from the U.S. Congress, the Cross of Knight of the Legion of Honor from the French government, and the Gold Medal of the National Geographic Society from President Herbert Hoover. Throughout the early 1930s, Earhart continued to push the boundaries of aviation. She set speed records, altitude records, and distance records. She became a celebrity, writing books, giving lectures, and inspiring a generation of women to pursue their dreams, regardless of societal expectations. But Earhart's greatest challenge lay ahead: the circumnavigation of the globe. In 1937, Earhart announced her intention to fly around the world along the equator, a feat that had never been accomplished. She would be accompanied by navigator Fred Noonan in a specially modified Lockheed Electra aircraft. The journey began on June 1, 1937, from Miami, Florida. Earhart and Noonan made several stops in South America, Africa, India, and Southeast Asia, covering more than 22,000 miles. On July 2, 1937, Earhart and Noonan departed from Lae, New Guinea, on one of the most challenging legs of their journey. Their destination was Howland Island, a tiny speck of land in the Pacific Ocean, just 1.5 miles long and half a mile wide. The flight was expected to take around 18 hours and cover 2,556 miles of open ocean. As Earhart and Noonan approached the area of Howland Island, they made radio contact with the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca, which was stationed near the island to assist with their landing. However, the communications were fragmentary and confusing. Earhart reported that they were running low on fuel and couldn't see the island. Her last confirmed radio transmission stated, "We are running on line north and south." Then silence. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan sparked one of the largest air and sea searches in naval history. For 2 weeks, ships and planes scoured over 250,000 square miles of ocean. Despite these efforts, no trace of the Electra or its occupants was found. The official search was called off on July 19, 1937, though Earhart's husband, George Putnam, financed additional searches. In the decades since Earhart's disappearance, numerous theories have emerged to explain what might have happened. The official conclusion of the U.S. government, known as the crash and sink theory, posits that Earhart and Noonan ran out of fuel, crashed into the Pacific Ocean and sank. This theory is supported by the lack of any debris found during the initial search. However, alternative theories abound. One of the most persistent is the Gardner Island hypothesis, which suggests that Earhart and Noonan may have landed on what is now called Nikumaroro Island, about 350 nautical miles southeast of Howland Island. This theory is based on several pieces of evidence, including reported post-loss radio signals, and the discovery of artifacts on the island that some researchers believe could be linked to Earhart and Noonan. Another theory, known as the Japanese capture hypothesis, proposes that Earhart and Noonan were captured by Japanese forces after landing in the Marshall Islands. This theory gained traction in the years following World War II, but has been largely discredited due to lack of concrete evidence. More recent expeditions have used advanced technology to search the ocean floor near Howland Island. In 2012, an expedition led by the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, THAR, discovered what they believed to be remnants of Earhart's plane off the coast of Nikumaroro. However, these findings remain controversial and have not been universally accepted by the scientific community. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart continues to fascinate researchers and the public alike. It represents not just a historical mystery, but a reflection of Earhart's enduring legacy as a pioneer and role model. Her courage, determination, and willingness to challenge societal norms have inspired generations of women to pursue their dreams, particularly in fields traditionally dominated by men. Earhart's life and disappearance have been the subject of countless books, documentaries, and even Hollywood films. Her story has become a part of American folklore, a testament to the human spirit of adventure and the pursuit of the unknown. The mystery surrounding her fate serves as a reminder of the risks and sacrifices made by early aviators in pushing the boundaries of human achievement. As technology continues to advance, there remains hope that one day the true fate of Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan may be discovered. Until then, her disappearance stands as one of the great unsolved mysteries of the 20th century, a puzzle that continues to intrigue and inspire us to this day. Amelia Earhart's legacy, however, extends far beyond the circumstances of her disappearance. She remains a symbol of courage, determination, and the relentless pursuit of one's dreams, regardless of the obstacles that may stand in the way. 4. The mysterious dancing plague of 1518. In the annals of bizarre historical events, few can match the sheer peculiarity of the dancing plague of 1518. This extraordinary incident, which took place in the city of Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire, remains one of the most perplexing and disturbing outbreaks of mass hysteria ever recorded. It stands as a testament to the complex interplay between human psychology, social dynamics, and the cultural context of medieval Europe. The dancing plague began in July 1518 when a woman known to history only as Frau Trophäa stepped into the street and began to dance. At first, her behavior might have seemed merely eccentric, perhaps the result of too much wine or a moment of exuberant celebration. But as hours turned into days and Frau Trophäa continued to dance without rest, it became clear that something far more unusual was occurring. Within a week, 34 others had joined her, dancing feverishly in the streets of Strasbourg. By August, the number had swollen to 400, with countless dancers gyrating day and night. Many of these individuals danced until they collapsed from exhaustion, and some reports even suggest that participants died from heart attacks, strokes, or sheer fatigue. The authorities in Strasbourg were baffled by this unprecedented situation. Their initial response, guided by local physicians, was to prescribe more dancing as a cure. They believed that the afflicted individuals needed to essentially dance out their illness. To facilitate this, guild halls were opened and professional dancers were hired to keep the plagued individuals moving. A wooden stage was even constructed to provide a suitable venue for the endless dance. However, as the plague continued to spread and claim more victims, it became clear that this approach was not working. The situation had become dire, with dozens of people dying from exhaustion or injuries sustained during their manic dancing. The city was in chaos, with regular activities disrupted and a palpable sense of fear and confusion permeating the air. In desperation, the city council tried various measures to stop the dancing. They banned music and closed dance halls, hoping to remove any external stimuli that might be encouraging the behavior. When this proved ineffective, they turned to more spiritual solutions. The afflicted were taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, a Christian martyr believed to have power over physical ailments. They also organized masses and public processions, praying for divine intervention to end the plague. The question that has puzzled historians and scientists for centuries is, what caused this bizarre outbreak? Various theories have been proposed over the years, each attempting to make sense of this seemingly inexplicable event. One early explanation suggested that the dancers were the victims of ergot poisoning. Ergot is a fungus that can grow on rye and related plants, producing compounds similar to LSD. Consumption of ergot-contaminated grain can lead to hallucinations, seizures, and other neurological symptoms. However, ergot poisoning typically produces painful muscle spasms rather than the kind of coordinated dancing described in accounts of the plague. Another theory posits that the dancing plague was a form of mass psychogenic illness, also known as mass hysteria. This explanation suggests that the extreme stress of the era, which included famine, disease, and widespread poverty, created the conditions for a shared psychological breakdown. The dancing might have been a physical manifestation of the extreme anxiety and despair felt by the populace. Some researchers have suggested that the plague might have been a form of religious ecstasy or a manifestation of a cult. The veneration of Saint Vitus, who was associated with a neurological disorder called Sydenham's chorea, also known as Saint Vitus's dance, might have played a role in shaping the form of this mass behavior. A more recent interpretation proposes that the dancing plague was not a spontaneous outbreak, but a planned event, a sort of medieval flash mob. This theory suggests that the initial dancers were part of a religious sect or cult, and that their actions were misinterpreted by authorities and subsequent chroniclers. Regardless of its true cause, the dancing plague of 1518 eventually subsided, leaving behind a trail of exhausted, injured, and deceased victims. The exact duration of the plague is unclear from historical records, but it's believed to have lasted several weeks to a few months. The legacy of the dancing plague extends far beyond its immediate impact on the citizens of Strasbourg. It has become a subject of fascination for historians, psychologists, and cultural anthropologists, offering insights into the nature of mass behavior and the power of social contagion. The event has been immortalized in literature, art, and popular culture, serving as a potent symbol of the mysterious and often inexplicable nature of human behavior. 5. The Tunguska Event. In the early hours of June 30th, 1908, the skies above Siberia erupted in a brilliant display of light and energy. This event, which would come to be known as the Tunguska Event, remains one of the most mysterious and captivating occurrences in modern history. As we delve into the details of this extraordinary phenomenon, we'll explore the facts, theories, and lasting impact it has had on science and culture. The Tunguska event took place in a remote area of Siberia near the Podkamenaya Tunguska River. At approximately 7:17 a.m. local time, a massive explosion occurred, flattening an estimated 80 million trees over an area of 2,150 square kilometers. The blast was so powerful that it was felt and heard hundreds of kilometers away, with seismic shocks recorded as far as Germany. Eyewitness accounts from the sparsely populated region describe a fiery object streaking across the sky, followed by a blinding flash and a deafening sound. Some observers reported feeling intense heat, while others were knocked off their feet by the shockwave. The event was so powerful that it lit up the night sky over Europe, with reports of people being able to read newspapers outdoors at midnight due to the unusual glow. Interestingly, despite the immense power of the explosion, there was no impact crater found at the site. This absence of a crater has been one of the key factors fueling various theories about the nature of the Tunguska event. The most widely accepted explanation is that it was caused by an airburst of a large meteoroid or comet fragment at an altitude of 5 to 10 kilometers above the Earth's surface. The lack of immediate scientific investigation into the event adds to its mystique. It wasn't until 1927, nearly 2 decades after the explosion, that the first expedition led by Soviet mineralogist Leonid Kulik reached the impact site. Kulik was astonished by what he found, a vast area of flattened, scorched trees radiating outward from a central point. The devastation was unlike anything he had ever seen, and it only deepened the mystery surrounding the event. Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed to explain the Tunguska event. While the air burst theory remains the most plausible, other hypotheses have ranged from the scientific to the fantastical. Some researchers have suggested that it could have been caused by a small black hole passing through the Earth, while others have proposed more exotic explanations involving antimatter or even alien spacecraft. One intriguing aspect of the Tunguska event is its potential connection to Nikola Tesla's experiments with wireless energy transmission. Some theorists have suggested that Tesla's tests of his death ray or peace ray at his Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island could have inadvertently caused the explosion in Siberia. While this theory lacks substantial evidence, it demonstrates the event's power to captivate imaginations and inspire speculation. The Tunguska event has had a profound impact on our understanding of potential cosmic threats to Earth. It has served as a wake-up call to the scientific community, highlighting the very real possibility of devastating impacts from space objects. This realization has led to increased efforts in asteroid and comet detection and tracking, as well as the development of potential defense strategies against such threats. In popular culture, the Tunguska event has been a source of inspiration for countless works of fiction. It has featured in novels, films, television shows, and video games, often serving as a backdrop for stories involving alien encounters, supernatural phenomena, or scientific experiments gone awry. This cultural impact underscores the event's enduring fascination and its ability to spark creativity and wonder. The scientific community continues to study the Tunguska event, using modern technologies to glean new insights. Recent expeditions to the site have employed ground-penetrating radar, magnetic surveys, and advanced computer modeling to better understand the nature of the explosion and its effects on the surrounding environment. These studies have revealed intriguing details, such as the presence of microscopic particles that could be remnants of the object that caused the blast. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Tunguska event is its potential role in shaping the Earth's atmosphere. Some researchers have suggested that the explosion may have released significant amounts of nitrogen oxides into the upper atmosphere, potentially affecting global climate patterns. While the full extent of these effects is still debated, it highlights the interconnectedness of cosmic events and Earth's environmental systems. The Tunguska event also serves as a reminder of the vast unknowns that still exist in our universe. Despite over a century of scientific advancement since the explosion, we still cannot say with absolute certainty what caused it. In the end, the Tunguska event remains a powerful reminder of the unexpected and the unknown. It challenges us to keep questioning, exploring, and seeking answers to the enigmas that surround us. As we gaze up at the night sky, we can't help but wonder what other cosmic surprises await us, and how will they shape our understanding of the universe and our place within it. 6. The Story of D.B Copper. The Story of D.B Copper is a captivating tale of daring, mystery, and one of the most perplexing unsolved cases in American criminal history. On November 24, 1971, a seemingly ordinary man boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle, setting in motion a chain of events that would baffle investigators for decades to come and capture the imagination of the public. Our story begins on that chilly November afternoon when a man identifying himself as Dan Cooper purchased a one-way ticket on Flight 305. Described as being in his mid-40s, wearing a business suit with a black tie and white shirt, Cooper appeared to be just another businessman on a routine flight. However, as the Boeing 727 took off, it became clear that this was no ordinary journey. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper calmly handed a note to Florence Schaffner, one of the flight attendants. Initially thinking it was his phone number, she tucked the note into her pocket without reading it. Cooper then leaned towards her and whispered, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." These words marked the beginning of one of the most audacious hijackings in aviation history. The note demanded $200,000 in negotiable American currency and 4 parachutes. Cooper opened his briefcase slightly, revealing what appeared to be a bomb. With the threat established, the crew relayed the demands to authorities on the ground. As the plane circled Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, officials scrambled to meet Cooper's demands, gathering the money and parachutes. Upon landing in Seattle, Cooper allowed the 36 passengers to disembark in exchange for the money and parachutes. He kept several crew members on board, including the pilot, co-pilot, and one flight attendant. With meticulous attention to detail, Cooper instructed the pilot to fly to Mexico City, maintaining an altitude under 10,000 feet and keeping the landing gear down. As the plane took off again, heading south over Washington and Oregon, Cooper did something unprecedented. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, Nevada, he opened the rear door of the aircraft and parachuted out into the night, taking the money with him. The crew, isolated in the cockpit, only realized Cooper was gone when a warning light indicated the rear door had been opened. What happened to D.B. Cooper after he leapt from the plane remains one of the greatest mysteries in criminal history. Despite an extensive manhunt and decades of investigation, no trace of Cooper or the money was ever conclusively found. The FBI officially suspended active investigation of the case in 2016, but the mystery continues to intrigue law enforcement, amateur sleuths, and the public alike. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged about Cooper's identity and fate. Some believe he perished in the jump, unable to survive the harsh conditions and rough terrain below. Others speculate that he successfully escaped, living out his days with the stolen money. The case has inspired countless books, documentaries, and even a movie, each offering their own interpretation of events and theories about Cooper's ultimate fate. One of the most intriguing developments in the case came in 1980, when a young boy found a rotting package containing $5,800 of the ransom money on the banks of the Columbia River. This discovery reignited interest in the case and led to new theories about Cooper's flight path and possible landing zones. However, despite this tantalizing clue, the full cache of money was never recovered. The D.B. Cooper hijacking has had a lasting impact on aviation security. In the wake of the incident, airlines implemented new safety measures, including the Cooper vane, a simple mechanical device that prevents the rear stairway of a Boeing 727 from being opened in flight. The case also led to more stringent passenger screening procedures and baggage checks, fundamentally changing the way we approach air travel security. The allure of the D.B. Cooper case lies not just in its audacity, but in the questions it raises about identity, survival, and the limits of human capability. How did Cooper plan such an elaborate heist? Did he have inside knowledge of the aircraft? Was he a skilled paratrooper, or just an extraordinarily lucky amateur? These questions continue to fuel speculation and debate. The case has also become a significant part of American folklore, with Cooper often portrayed as a sort of anti-hero, a daring individual who managed to outwit authorities and disappear into thin air. This romanticized view of Cooper has persisted in popular culture. Despite the inherent dangers and criminality of his actions, numerous suspects have been proposed over the years, ranging from ex-military personnel to career criminals. As time passes, the likelihood of solving the D.B. Cooper mystery diminishes. Yet the case continues to captivate us, not just for its audacity, but for what it represents: the allure of the perfect crime, the possibility of reinvention, and the enduring human fascination with unsolved mysteries. In the end, perhaps the true legacy of D.B. Cooper lies not in the identity of the man himself, but in the questions his actions continue to provoke. What drives someone to take such risks? How thin is the line between ordinary life and extraordinary action? And in a world of increasing surveillance and security, is it still possible for someone to simply vanish without a trace? 7. The Dyatlov Pass. The Dyatlov Pass incident stands as one of the most perplexing and chilling mysteries of the 20th century, a tale that has captivated the imaginations of investigators, theorists, and the public for decades. This haunting story begins in the winter of 1959, in the remote and unforgiving Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia, where a group of 9 experienced hikers embarked on what was supposed to be a challenging but routine expedition. Led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old radio engineering student at the Ural Polytechnical Institute, the group set out to reach Otorten Mountain, a trek that was categorized as Category 3, the most difficult level of hiking. The team consisted of 8 men and 2 women, all of whom were seasoned hikers and skiers with experience in long and demanding expeditions. Their journey began on January 25, 1959, filled with the excitement and camaraderie typical of such adventures. The group documented their progress with photographs and diary entries, leaving behind a trail of their experiences. These artifacts would later become crucial pieces of evidence in the mystery that was about to unfold. On January 31st, the team reached the edge of a highland area and prepared to climb. However, deteriorating weather conditions forced them to change their route and set up camp on the slope of Kholat Syakhl, a name that chillingly translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language. Little did they know that this decision would mark their final campsite. When the group failed to return as scheduled, search parties were dispatched. What they discovered on February 26th would become the stuff of legend and spark decades of speculation and investigation. The searchers found the team's abandoned tent, which had been cut open from the inside. More disturbingly, they discovered that the hikers had fled the tent without proper clothing, some of them barefoot, into sub-zero temperatures. The first two bodies were found about a mile from the campsite, shoeless and dressed only in underwear. 3 more bodies, including that of Dyatlov, were discovered between the tent and the location of the first two, in poses that suggested they were attempting to return to the camp. It wasn't until 2 months later, after the snow had melted, that the remaining 4 bodies were found in a ravine buried under 4 meters of snow. The condition of the bodies only deepened the mystery. While some showed signs of hypothermia, others exhibited inexplicable injuries. 3 of the hikers had fatal injuries. 1 had a fractured skull, while 2 others had major chest fractures. The force required to inflict such injuries was later compared to that of a car crash. Perhaps most bizarrely, one of the women was missing her tongue. The official Soviet investigation at the time concluded that the group had died due to a compelling natural force, a vague explanation that did little to satisfy those seeking answers. This ambiguous conclusion, coupled with the strange circumstances surrounding the deaths, gave rise to a multitude of theories ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. Some theorists pointed to the possibility of an avalanche, suggesting that the group had cut their way out of the tent in a panic and fled to safety, only to succumb to the elements. However, this theory fails to explain the lack of avalanche debris at the site and the strange injuries found on some of the bodies. Others proposed more exotic explanations. UFO enthusiasts suggested extraterrestrial involvement, pointing to reports of strange lights in the sky around the time of the incident. Some speculated about secret Soviet military tests, suggesting that the hikers might have stumbled upon a covert operation involving weapons or aircraft testing. One particularly intriguing theory involves infrasound, low-frequency sound waves that can be produced by wind interacting with topographical features. Some researchers have suggested that these sound waves could have induced feelings of panic or unease in the group, causing them to flee their tent in terror. The incident has also been linked to the indigenous Mansi people, with some suggesting that the hikers might have trespassed on sacred ground, incurring the wrath of local tribesmen. However, no evidence of other human presence was ever found at the site. In recent years, renewed interest in the case has led to further investigations and theories. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case, officially blaming the deaths on an avalanche and hypothermia. They suggested that the hikers had made a cut in their tent to quickly escape the avalanche and that the mysterious injuries were caused by the pressure of the snow. However, this explanation has not satisfied many researchers and enthusiasts who continue to probe the inconsistencies in the case. The lack of typical avalanche signs, the strange behavior of the group, and the peculiar injuries continue to fuel debate and speculation. Perhaps what makes the Dyatlov Pass incident so captivating is not just the mysterious circumstances of the deaths, but what it represents. It speaks to our fear of the unknown, the unpredictable power of nature, and the limits of human understanding. It reminds us that even in our modern world, there are still places where the line between the explicable and inexplicable blurs. In the end, whether we ever uncover the truth about what happened on Kholat Syakhl or not, the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident will continue to fascinate and perplex us. It stands as a testament to the enduring human desire to seek answers, to make sense of the senseless and to find meaning in the face of the unknown. As we gaze upon the stark, unforgiving landscape of the Ural Mountains, we can't help but wonder, what secrets does this remote wilderness still hold, and what other mysteries lie waiting to be discovered in the far corners of our world? 8. The Death of Rasputin. The death of Grigory Rasputin, the enigmatic Russian mystic and confidant to the Romanov royal family, is a tale that has captivated the world for over a century. It's a story that blends historical fact with sensational mythology, creating a narrative as complex and mysterious as the man himself. To fully appreciate the significance of Rasputin's demise, we must first understand the context of his life and the tumultuous times in which he lived. Rasputin was born in 1869 in a small Siberian village. His early life was unremarkable, but in his 20s, he underwent a religious transformation, becoming a wandering holy man, or Stranik. His reputation as a faith healer grew, eventually bringing him to the attention of the Russian royal family in 1905. Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandra were desperate for someone who could help their hemophiliac son, Alexei. Rasputin seemed to be able to ease the boy's suffering, cementing his place in the royal household. As Rasputin's influence over the royal family grew, so did his notoriety. He was a controversial figure, known for his unconventional religious practices, alleged healing powers, and rumors of sexual impropriety. His presence at court scandalized the Russian aristocracy and fueled public discontent with the monarchy. As World War I dragged on and Russia's fortunes waned, Rasputin became a convenient scapegoat for the nation's problems. By 1916, a plot was hatched to eliminate Rasputin. The conspirators, led by Prince Felix Yusupov, Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, and right-wing politician Vladimir Purishkevich, believed that removing Rasputin would save the monarchy from further disgrace and potential revolution. Little did they know that their actions would become the stuff of legend. On the night of December 29, 1916, Rasputin was invited to Yusupov's Moika Palace. The official pretense was a late-night gathering where Rasputin would meet Yusupov's wife, Irina. In reality, it was a carefully orchestrated trap. Rasputin was led to a basement dining room, lavishly decorated to put him at ease. There he was offered wine and cakes which, according to later accounts, had been laced with cyanide. What happened next has been the subject of debate, speculation, and myth-making for decades. According to Yusupov's sensationalized account, Rasputin consumed the poisoned refreshments but showed no signs of ill effect. The conspirators were stunned by his apparent immunity to the poison. Growing impatient and increasingly nervous, Yusupov excused himself, retrieved a revolver, returned to the basement, and shot Rasputin in the chest. Believing their grisly task complete, the conspirators left Rasputin for dead. However, the night's horrors were far from over. Sometime later, when Yusupov returned to check on the body, he claimed to have found Rasputin not only alive, but able to stand and lunge at him. Rasputin allegedly whispered, "You bad boy," before attempting to escape. The other conspirators, alerted by the commotion, gave chase. They pursued Rasputin into the palace courtyard, where they shot him multiple times and beat him with a rubber truncheon. Finally, they bound his body and threw it into the icy Neva River, hoping to conceal their crime. 3 days later, on January 1st, 1917, Rasputin's body was discovered in the river. The subsequent autopsy revealed a complex and horrifying series of events. While traces of poison were indeed found in his system, it appeared to have had little effect. He had been shot multiple times, including a bullet to the forehead, and his body showed signs of a savage beating. However, the official cause of death was determined to be drowning. Water was found in his lungs, indicating he had still been alive when thrown into the river. This extraordinary sequence of events, primarily based on Yusupov's account, has been questioned by historians and researchers in the century since Rasputin's death. Modern analysis suggests that while the general outline of events may be true, many details were likely embellished for dramatic effect. For instance, there's no conclusive evidence of cyanide in Rasputin's stomach contents, casting doubt on the poisoning story. The number of gunshot wounds and their locations have also been subjects of debate. What is generally accepted is that Rasputin was indeed murdered by a group of nobles, shot multiple times, and his body disposed of in the Neva River. The exact sequence of events, the number of people involved, and the specific methods used remain subjects of ongoing historical investigation and speculation. The extraordinary nature of Rasputin's reported death, coupled with his reputation as a mystic and healer, quickly gave rise to legends of his superhuman resilience. These tales further enhanced his already mythical status in Russian culture and history. Rasputin's murder, while intended to save the monarchy, ironically may have hastened its downfall. The Tsarina, devastated by the loss of her trusted advisor, became even more isolated from the Russian people. The Russian Revolution would follow just months later, leading to the end of the Romanov dynasty. The story of Rasputin's death has captivated the public imagination for over a century, inspiring countless books, films, and even pop songs. It stands as a testament to the power of myth-making and the enduring fascination with figures who seem to transcend the boundaries of ordinary human existence. In the end, while we may never know the exact details of Rasputin's final hours, his death remains one of the most intriguing and discussed events of early 20th century Russian history. It serves as a potent symbol of the tumultuous final days of Imperial Russia, where fact and fiction blurred in the face of impending revolution. 9. The disappearance of the Mary Celeste. On a fateful day in December 1872, the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean yielded one of its most perplexing mysteries. The merchant brigantine Mary Celeste was discovered adrift, her sails billowing in the wind, her cargo hold intact, but her decks hauntingly empty. This ghost ship, found by the British brig Dei Gratia approximately 400 miles east of the Azores, would soon become the subject of countless theories, wild speculations, and enduring fascination that has spanned nearly 150 years. The Mary Celeste story began innocuously enough. Built in Nova Scotia in 1861, she had weathered numerous voyages and changes of ownership before setting out on what would become her most famous journey. Originally christened Amazon, the vessel had been renamed Mary Celeste after extensive repairs and a transfer to American registry. Little did anyone know that this rechristening would mark the beginning of a legend that would captivate generations of maritime enthusiasts, historians, and mystery lovers alike. On November 7, 1872, under the command of Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs, the Mary Celeste embarked from New York Harbor, bound for Genoa, Italy. Her hold was filled with 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol, a lucrative cargo destined for the winemaking industry of the Mediterranean. Captain Briggs, a seasoned mariner with a reputation for competence and temperance, was accompanied by his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7 experienced seamen. The early days of the voyage were uneventful, with the last recorded sighting of the Mary Celeste occurring on November 5th, as she passed by the island of Santa Maria in the Azores. What transpired in the following month remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the sea, a puzzle that has inspired countless books, films, and theories. When Captain David Morehouse of the Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste on December 5th, he immediately sensed that something was amiss. The ship was sailing erratically, her canvas not properly trimmed for the prevailing winds. As the Dei Gratia drew closer, an eerie silence enveloped the seemingly abandoned vessel. Captain Morehouse, who knew Captain Briggs personally, decided to investigate, setting in motion a chain of events that would captivate the world. Upon boarding the Mary Celeste, the crew of the Dei Gratia encountered a scene that defied easy explanation. The ship was in relatively good condition, with only minimal damage that could be attributed to rough weather. Her cargo was intact, save for 9 empty barrels of alcohol. 6 months' worth of food and water supplies remained untouched in the galley. Personal belongings, including valuables, were found undisturbed in the cabins. The ship's papers were missing, along with the chronometer and sextant, suggesting a planned departure rather than a sudden catastrophe. Yet, the most crucial elements were conspicuously absent. The entire crew, Captain Briggs, his wife and young daughter, had vanished without a trace. The ship's only lifeboat was missing, indicating that whatever had prompted the abandonment of the Mary Celeste, the crew had left voluntarily. But what could have been so urgent, so terrifying, as to drive an experienced captain to abandon a seaworthy vessel in the middle of the Atlantic? The discovery of the Mary Celeste set off a flurry of speculation and investigation. Captain Morehouse and his crew sailed the abandoned ship to Gibraltar, where a salvage hearing was convened to determine the fate of the vessel and its cargo. The proceedings, which lasted 3 months, were fraught with suspicion and controversy. Initially, there were even accusations of foul play against the crew of the Dei Gratia, with some suggesting they might have murdered the Mary Celeste's crew for the salvage money. However, no evidence was found to support these claims, and the crew was eventually awarded a salvage payment, albeit a significantly reduced one due to the lingering suspicions surrounding the case. The official inquiry failed to reach any definitive conclusions about the fate of the Mary Celeste's crew. The ship showed no signs of violence or struggle, and there was no clear reason why the crew would have abandoned a seaworthy vessel in relatively calm seas. This lack of a clear explanation has led to a proliferation of theories over the years, ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. One of the more rational explanations suggests that the crew might have abandoned ship due to fears of an explosion. The 9 empty barrels of alcohol found in the cargo hold could have led the crew to believe that the remaining barrels were at risk of exploding. In a panic, they might have taken to the lifeboat, only to be lost at sea. This theory is supported by the fact that the ship's papers and navigational instruments were missing, indicating a planned, if hasty, departure. Other theories have proposed natural phenomena as the cause.